All right, so this is our last good day of weather for a little while from the looks of it. So I want to get these posts cut down to the right height. That way, when I do the shishigi bomb and all that kind of stuff, I don't have to worry about cutting those down. I did invest in a laser level because, as you saw last time, it didn't go well. So I've got this set up. I've made some shims. I need to true up the board, turn the laser on, identify my mark for cutting this, and then I guess run in and cut the first one and see how it goes. It is what it is. The other thing that I want to do with these is tighten up these bolts before I mark anything, because once they're tightened down, it'll change whether the boards are true anymore. No, it came out just fine. That's good news. Alright, let's see if this level will work for this. Now, one of the things that I did the other day is I came out and put this stake in at the right height so that I wouldn't have to remeasure that. So yeah, that took care of that issue. All right, I got my lines over here. Let's see. You're not going to be able to see this on camera, but oops. That one's way harder to see. There it is. Just a little shadow needed. All right. That first one's marked. All right, so I need to pull this up and take it and go cut it. And do that. All right, first board cut. It went pretty well, but I forgot to hit record on the camera, so unfortunately I didn't get that recorded, but we have 5 more to go. Where did my little mark go? There it is. So that's right where it's supposed to be. What I'm going to do is do this. Well, from my perspective, it's back row, but from the deck perspective, it's the front row. So anyways, this one's less true. Oh, we're going to have to shim it up more. And I think we're quite a bit out Yeah. See if we're getting there. One of the things when I found when I was cutting this is how twisted this 4x4 is. All right. Look on my hand. All right. So the laser level did work out pretty good. I need to get a very accurate cut. All right, that's trued up. Let's get this level turned on. Get this one marked out. The one thing that may be a challenge with this... Oh, no, this is going to be easier this time. So one of the things that I'm doing when I'm cutting these is I'm adjusting the miter saw so that I'm getting the angle so that the top of the board is level, flush to what it needs to be, or at least as close as I can get. Not going to be perfect, but all right. Another one down. Probably be easier if I had multiple 4x4s, but this works for what I've got. All right, take these bolts down. This time I'll remember to turn the camera on. Too funny. All right. Turn this up. And if you're interested in the level, I think I mentioned this last video, any of the things that I use, tools, whatever, even the lumber, if you care about the lumber, probably don't care about the lumber, but the tools that I use, I'll have links in the description for them. All right. I get this pulled out and cut down. All right, well, that one's in. I think it's good. Double check. I don't need those strings anymore. Look at that. That is right in the bubble. Oh, that is awesome. I'm not sure at the moment. I may not have enough 4x4 to actually finish this. That'd be a little ironic with everything else that's gone on with this build so far. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this up and get the last 4 boards cut. I'm not going to bore you with going through the process of doing that, so I'll get that knocked out here and then talk about it when I get done. All right. Wow, so check this out. I thought I was going to run short on the post, the 4x4 post, and not be able to get all 6 of these cut, but I had that much left. I thought when I was doing a rough estimate on if I had enough, I was way short, and it was going to be basically short by some amount of what I cut off to pound these supports in the ground. But yeah, I mean, that is pretty good. About an inch, inch and a quarter, maybe inch and a half of leftover lumber, so that worked out really well. So check this out. The real hero here today, the real hero today is the self-leveling laser level. That saved my bacon. I mean, look at this. From board to board, we're level. We're level. I mean, come on. That is so, like, good. And then it's kind of hard to do, but I'm pretty sure from side to side we're level too. Let me grab this one. So that one's right on. You can see right there. This one's not quite. It's a little high on the front, but when I was cutting that last one, I realized my saw wasn't set up right, so it's a little, that's all right. It'll work out. And then this one, dead on. I mean, oh man, that's something. So I'm pretty stoked about that. This was, of the build for this planter box, this was literally the most complicated part of this. The biggest work effort was driving those holders into the ground, but for getting stuff right and true and everything so that I can put this all together, this was definitely my biggest concern. Laser level to the rescue. So one thing I just figured out with these is that these are pressure treated. I'm not sure that I want to shishigi bomb them. They are ground contacts, so I can't remember if they're chemically treated or not, but I definitely don't want to start putting a charcoal layer on something that might be a little toxic to burn. We'll see. I had to do a little bit more research on that, but yeah, it's going to be, like I said when I started, this is probably the last good weather we're going to have for a little while, so I'm not going to be able to do anything on this probably for a month or 3 to 4 weeks. And then once we get to a place where I can actually do the shishigi bombing, then I'll come back out here and work on this again. But at this point, I'm in a position where I can't do too much more than what I've already done. That's the nature of it. But the awesome thing about that is it does let me turn my focus on to some other projects that I have, which I'm excited to get focused on, and some things, and those will all be indoor projects. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so there we go.